Wow. Okay. I had to see this episode twice, not once, but twice, just to get this review out here. Because my God, it gave me so many goosebumps. So it was like partially nostalgia. It made me nerd out quite a bit, to be honest. Wow. So, book of. I don't know where to begin, really. Because I had to see this episode twice because I nerded out like 4 times in this episode. And 3 of those times, which we'll go over because spoiler alert, 3 of those times were characters, or 5 technically. And one of those, like 6 times or whatever, was me nerding out seeing 2 characters I never thought I would be like able to see together in one scene. I was like, oh my God. What are you doing to me? And I think this was made by Dave Filoni, who is a person who made the Clone Wars, a movie show, and Rebel show. And I was like, oh my God. And the sad part is, I honestly expected at least one of these characters with the Dave Filoni episode. So long story short, Din Djarin, Mando from the Mandalorian show, we see him. Actually, before we get to Din Djarin, because he's in this episode, we see the guy who had Boba Fett's armor in the season 2 of Boba Mando, before Boba got his armor, who's now the sheriff of this one town. We see him saying, okay, yeah, you don't want to do this. Oh, you guys gonna shoot me? I'm going to kill like 3 of you, keep the 4th one alive. You guys go tell your boss that Tatooine is off limits. Tatooine has seen enough violence, so you fuck off. And the Pike goes, and then we get into Din Djarin, which is like more important, I feel like, than the opening scene of this episode, if that makes sense. So, in this episode, we see Din Djarin going to the world of where Luke Skywalker and Grogu is at. Which I half expected Grogu and Luke to be in this episode, to be honest, because they teased it in the last episode. So I figured if they didn't show Luke or Grogu in this episode, they're probably going to show Luke and Grogu in like the episode 1 of Mando. And like as a way of showing us what Din Djarin did on whichever planet he saw Luke and Grogu. To be honest, I'm really happy we got this episode because we got R2D2, so I was like okay, yeah, because R2D2 is my favorite droid. R2D2 takes Din Djarin to the spot to essentially sit at, which we see like these little construction droids building up Luke's Jedi Academy, which now I think about it, would be a cool title for a game, Luke's Jedi Academy. Show us what Luke did in his academy more, and being able to make your own Jedi or make our own character to be a Jedi under Luke's guidance. Ideas, Disney. Ideas. And it could be a way... It could be a soft, loosely fitted canon to Disney lore. Oh my god. Ideas, Disney, ideas, you're welcome. Anyways, we see Din Djarin just standing, waiting for to meet with Luke, and he essentially he just waits, and then we get a cut to Luke and Grogu, and I have to admit, Luke Skywalker is my favorite Jedi, and debatably my favorite Star Wars characters, more so in the original trilogy than the sequels. But even though I have expected him to be in this episode, which I'm happy that he was in this episode, I was like, yes, yes, that was pretty much me. I nerded the F out when I saw Luke Skywalker, for the first time in this episode, and it was so great to see him, and especially the deepfake. I mean, let's talk about the deepfake first before we get into the rest of the episode. So, the deepfake definitely improved from the season finale of Mando 2, which this episode makes me want to see this season 2 finale again. Just so I can mentally compare what the deepfake was in the ending of season 2 and see if they updated it. I highly doubt so though. And the deepfake in here. Because my god, the deepfake. Let me tell you guys something. The deepfake in Mandalorian season 2, you could tell that was deepfake. Even though it was pretty decent, they could have been better because it's Disney. And Disney's the biggest company, debatably, in the entertainment industry. Even though they just fired or suspended Whoopi Goldberg for making offensive statements, having a double standard of what they did with Roseanne and Gina Carano. One of them being a Star Wars actor, but besides the point. But so I did enjoy seeing Luke in Mandalorian season 2, but Luke in this episode, in episode 6, they improved the deepfake. I liked it. And let me tell you guys something. I did not expect seeing this much Luke. Luke was in about the first half of the episode, and he was the last thing we saw in the of this episode, him and Grogu. And we see Luke essentially training Grogu. That's pretty much what it was Luke's role in here. Us seeing Luke Skywalker training Grogu. And while that happens, we see Mando wakes up. And he wakes up to the sight of Ahsoka Tano. And when I saw Ahsoka freaking Tano, I almost said Taco for some reason, but when I saw Ahsoka Tano, I was like, yes! My favorite Clone Wars hero! Don't get me wrong, I underplayed me geeking out to seeing R2, but I was like, yes, my favorite Clone Wars character! Because Ahsoka has been my favorite Clone Wars character, and my favorite Rebels character. And I was like, yes, it's my favorite Clone Wars character. And it's Rosario Dawson. Oh my god. I'm so I can tell you guys right now, I was a hot mess. I was a hot mess. I'm not joking. I pretty much was a hot mess. Just I'm nerded out. And we see. Oh, before I get into more details about Din Djarin and Ahsoka. Luke does this trick, using the Force to better help Grogu remember his past, and we do see a glimpse of Order 66 from Grogu's perspective, where we see Jedi just defending him, and then one Jedi goes down, and then another Jedi goes down, and then there's one Jedi remaining, and that Jedi goes down because of the clone troopers. That was honestly really great to see. And then what else can I tell you guys? So we pretty much see, like I said, Luke training Grogu. Mando gives the thing that the armor gave him for Grogu to Ahsoka, because Ahsoka says, Grogu, look here, Mando. Grogu misses you a lot. You guys have a tight bond, and I get that. I get you want to see him. But if you care about him, let me give it to him. Because seeing you will only make his Jedi training that much more difficult for him. So let me give it to him. Let him not see you. I know it will hurt you, but let him not see you. Even though once you, like, 5 seconds later in the episode, we see you going on a ship, and Grogu sees the ship, and I'm guessing Grogu senses that was Mando. And I was going to say he remembered the ship, but based from the last time Grogu seen Mando got a new ship, and so we see a bit more of Grogu's training, and we see Ahsoka and Luke having a conversation. And this was the interaction that I was telling you guys about, that I was geeking out saying, yes! Finally! Ahsoka Tano. We can see Ahsoka freaking Tano interacting with Luke freaking Skywalker. Yes! Even though it was not the way I expected, because I expected us to see Ahsoka meeting Luke, and Luke introducing himself, saying, "Hi, Ahsoka, I'm Luke Skywalker." Luke Skywalker? Skywalker. Are you the son of Anakin Skywalker? I am. And through this interaction, I kind of... And maybe we'll see that in the Ahsoka series. I'm more excited for Ahsoka than any other Star Wars show. Even more excited than the Obi-Wan series. But... we see... Ahsoka kind of being like a mentor-ish role to Luke in here too. The little bit that we see those two interact. And then Luke says, "What should I do with him?" Ahsoka says, "Follow your instincts." And then before we see the last of Ahsoka in this episode, Luke asks, am I going to see you again? And she said, "Maybe." And then she walks off. So I'm hoping with like the Ahsoka show, we will get the interaction of her meeting Luke, and then Ahsoka telling Luke that, "Yeah, I know your father. I'm sorry, Luke. There was nothing I could have done to save your father." And then Luke saying, "Whoa, Ahsoka." Something along the terms like, "Whoa, Ahsoka. I was with him at the end, and he redeemed himself. He fulfilled the prophecy of the chosen one. I nearly died, and through me nearly dying, he sacrificed himself to save me, killing the Emperor." And that could like spark some like, holy crap. Anakin turned back to light. And I would love to see the emotion that Ahsoka has just finding that out. And maybe she doesn't know that yet. Maybe, like, was her line saying "just like your father"? Maybe she's just remembering him like in the Clone Wars. Maybe she doesn't know. Well, of course she remembers him from the Clone Wars, but maybe she doesn't know at this point that Anakin turned, or Vader turned back to Anakin and saved Luke. Who knows? I don't know. One more reason why I'm excited to see the Ahsoka series. Was I would be interested in seeing a Luke Skywalker series, to be honest. Especially if they do it this way. If they're not going to use deepfake, use Sebastian Stan, who played the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies. He would be a nice stand-in if you guys don't feel like using deepfake all the time in the show. But this really looked like young Mark Hamill. And then we see like Boba Fett and his crew with Mando talking about the Pikes. And Boba goes to the sheriff area saying, hey, we could use your help. He leaves, and the sheriff essentially gets killed because another character that I nerded out on came in all mysterious, looking down. But if you watch the Clone Wars show, you would immediately, within like 4 or 5 seconds, I want to say, will quickly realize who this freaking character is. And spoiler alert, if you guys have not figured that out by now, in this episode, or in this video where I already said spoiler alert, but even more spoiler alert, this character was Cad Bane. This character was Cad Bane. And for some reason, that made me nerd out. I'm not the biggest Cad Bane fan per se, but I can appreciate the character. And seeing him in live action was so cool. I gotta admit that. And Cad Bane just kills the sheriff and the chief, and says, "This planet is controlled by the Pikes. So you guys better be cool with that," as I walk away all sly, like all smooth, like. And I don't know why I do that, but okay. And then we get another cut to Luke and Grogu. And I'm guessing the planet that they're training on, is Endor. Like, I'm guessing the world that we've been seeing Luke and Grogu on, and essentially Ahsoka and for the first part of this episode, Din Djarin, on was Endor. And Luke says he opens up the gift to Mando, right? And he says, and it's a little armor for Grogu. He says, "This is from your friend Grogu, the Mandalorian. You can, but I'm gonna give you a choice. You can take this, the gift that your friend gave you, or you can take this lightsaber. That was my master, my Jedi Master Yoda's lightsaber. And you can, and this was my Master Yoda's lightsaber. But you can only choose one. If you pick the armor that your friend gave you, then you will be giving to your attachments. You will be not continuing your Jedi way, your Jedi teachings, your Jedi lessons. But if you take this lightsaber over here, you will continue your Jedi teachings, but you will never see your friend again. Because for you, it might be a little while. For people like me and Mando, who are like humanoids, that's a long ass time, my friend. So, what do you choose? The armor or the lightsaber? End of the episode. And watch, Grogu's going to pull a Luke, like Empire Strikes Back Luke, and go to his friend. So we're going to see Luke Skywalker with this lightsaber, pretty much doing as I like Garvin Leviosa, even though this is not a Harry Potter stream, but I'm going to stop now. But we're going to see Luke Skywalker come back in the final episode of this season, I'm guessing. That's my theory. If not Luke, then Ahsoka. Or maybe Luke and Ahsoka plus Grogu. Regardless of which one comes to Boba's aid, it's going to be... They're going to be accompanied by Grogu. And, maybe Grogu will have like second thoughts about, yeah, I hope my friend. But Master Luke, if you still allow me to come back, allow me to do it, I won't give into the attachments anymore. I just needed to help my friend so I can put more attention to my Jedi training. I don't know. And maybe this is the part where we see on screen that maybe Luke says, okay, attachment is not bad. Like, in his Jedi Order, he allows attachment to a certain extent. And maybe this will be a certain extent that he's... I don't know. Because I know, like, Luke allows, like, love. And, at least in the expanded universe, where he essentially married Mara Jade, who... Mara Jade worked for the Empire, tried to kill him, like, once or twice. And he had a child with Mara Jade, and they named that child Ben. And, I'm hoping there's a part of me that wants Mara Jade, or someone that's a stand-in for Mara Jade, to, like, be Luke's, like, Skywalker's love interest, so he can be a father to, like, maybe since Kylo Ren is, like, took the name Ben, maybe Luke's child could be Jason, because in Legends, there's a guy named Jason Solo, and he becomes Darth Caddus, and he's the Legends version, pretty much, of Kylo Ren. If that makes sense. And I want that, so that way, like, we can still get Kylo Ren killing Luke Skywalker, and him being a cranky old hermit, making more sense. That makes sense. I don't know. But, long story short, and yes, this was me trying to, like, tie the sequels into this, to make it make sense so I can be less angry about the sequels. But, I think the episode was pretty good. I still say, last week's episode, trying to stay subjective here, last week's episode was the best, because it had less to do with member berries than this week's episode. But I definitely enjoyed this week's episode more, because of the member berries, like, because we got to see, like, Ahsoka Tano, Luke Skywalker, yeah, so you can say Baby Yoda, but R2-D2, and our very first time seeing Cad Bane on screen. Now, here's my theory. Because apparently, originally Cad Bane was supposed to die in the Clone Wars. In Season 7 originally, or Season 6, whatever. Maybe next week's episode, we're going to finally, after 6 episodes of Boba Fett being smooth, Boba Fett. He had a midlife crisis, so smooth, Boba Fett. Maybe we're gonna see Boba Fett actually be a badass and have this epic duel with Cad Bane that will first lead to Suning. Then it will lead to potentially like some sort of sword fighting, right? And it's essentially leading to like fist fighting. Pretty much this epic showdown between Cad Bane and Boba Fett that will lead into Cad Bane's death. And I think the sheriff is just seriously injured. I don't think he's dead, just seriously injured. And I think, regardless if he's dead or not, That's gonna be that town's peace town or whatever it's called. Excuse me. Motivation into helping Boba and friends with their issues. Yeah, help Boba and friends with their issues with the Pikes. So yeah, that's my theory, and maybe we'll even get a cameo from Mace Windu in the next episode. I don't fully expect that to happen, but if we do get a cameo of Mace Windu, I'm going to be the happiest, one of the happiest people ever, because I've been wanting Mace Windu and to be in the show. Even though it might be stupid and cheesy and wouldn't make sense why he wouldn't be in the original trilogy, but if they brought in Yoda's lightsaber after in the comics they destroyed Yoda's lightsaber, and yet they brought that back into live action, that could happen. Because the one thing Disney has taught me with Star Wars is they don't give a damn about continuity. They honestly don't. They seriously don't. Because they constantly contradict themselves. The sequel trilogy did it. There was I believe a few times when Rebels did that. Maybe a few times with Clone Wars did that too. But Disney Star Wars movies has been known to contradict themselves. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mandalorian contradicted some pre-existing lore already. So the whole bring Yoda's lightsaber, even though I can see some fans being frustrated with that, because in the comic books they destroyed some of the Jedi lightsabers and Yoda was one of them, as far as I'm aware. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the comic books, them bringing that back is a contradiction. Or maybe here's the thing: maybe Yoda built a lightsaber in his time on Dagobah, and maybe this lightsaber is the new lightsaber that Yoda built on his time on Dagobah. That way, they can still keep continuity, keep that continuity sacred. Yeah, that's my theory. That's my thoughts on Yoda's lightsaber. But what do you guys think about this episode? Did you guys like it, dislike, or any about it? And is this your guys' favorite episode? Or if it's not, what is your favorite episode? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. We have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And it was really great seeing Luke Skywalker again. It really, truly was. And it was great seeing Ahsoka again. It was great seeing Cad Bane. This episode it was pretty good. And it's one of my favorite episodes, I'll admit, of the season. I'm not saying it's the best episode. It's just one of my favorites. Because I still stand by the last week's episode is the best, in my opinion. But what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. May the Force be with us all.